Thank you, Babatunde. Good morning, darling viewers of Osbc television, and I welcome you to today's edition of Saturday Morning Treat. And we believe that you are going to enjoy every bit of the program, as we'll be bringing you topical issues and the latest ones in the Nigerian society and beyond. As we all know that this program is meant to enlighten you on some issues that are quite pertinent in the society. And the first one we are going to have is all about Ramadan, last 10 days of Ramadan and its significance. We have our guest already in the studio. And the second one is all about jungle justice. And as we all know what is going on in the country, we are going to bring you some issues concerning that today. So we believe that you are going to enjoy the program today.
Yeah, we want to take the activities of the Chief Executive of the state in the last 1 week. I am talking about His Excellency Senator Ademola Adeleke. Governor's Week. Let's have it.
Frame Islamic Perspective of Justice and Governance brought together notable Islamic leaders and clerics, traditional rulers and members of Osun Muslim community from far and near, among others, who converged on the open lawn of the government house, Oshogbo, for the annual program. In his remarks, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke expressed gratitude to the Muslim community for their support at all times. The governor, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Honorable Teslim Igbalaye, called for more cooperation from the people, with assurance that his administration would not relent on his electoral promises of ensuring that Osun people enjoy dividends of democracy.
The expectation for the Muslim community is that we continue to act and to present whatever we want to according to the doctrine of Islam. And you know, this Ramadan period, and the purpose is to stretch hands of fellowship to our fellow Muslim leaders, brothers and sisters. And I can assure you that we continue to do whatever that pleases the people of Osho State.
While delivering the Ramadan lecture on the topic, Islamic Perspective of Justice and Governance, the guest lecturer, Professor Abdul Hafid Oladushu of the Department of Arabic and Islamic Studies, University of Ibadan, noted that good governance entails that the masses have access to qualitative education, accessible healthcare delivery, infrastructural development, among other basic amenities. Professor Oladushu, who commended Governor Ademola Adeleke for walking the talk in the delivery of his electoral promises, charged him to sustain the temper of In his remarks, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke expressed gratitude to the Muslim community for their support at all times. The governor, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Honorable Teslim Igbalaye, called for more cooperation from the people, with assurance that his administration would not relent on his electoral promises of ensuring that Osun people enjoy dividends of democracy.
The expectation for the Muslim community is that we continue to act and to present whatever we want to according to the doctrine of Islam. And you know, this Ramadan period, and the purpose is to stretch hands of fellowship to our fellow Muslim leaders, brothers and sisters. And I can assure you that we continue to do whatever that pleases the people of Osho State.
While delivering the Ramadan lecture on the topic, Islamic Perspective of Justice and Governance, the guest lecturer, Professor Abdul Hafid Oladushu of the Department of Arabic and Islamic Studies, University of Ibadan, noted that good governance entails that the masses have access to qualitative education, accessible healthcare delivery, infrastructural development, among other basic amenities. Professor Oladushu, who commended Governor Ademola Adeleke for walking the talk in the delivery of his electoral promises, charged him to sustain the tempo of good governance for the betterment of the people.
It has to do with responsiveness. It has to do with alertness. It has to do with those in power being servant leaders, not leader servants. It has to do with those in power reaching out to those they are leading, keeping their comforts under focus 24/7, ensuring that justice is done all the time, and ensuring that they allow rule of law all of the time, and ensure that where there is underdevelopment, they ensure there is equity in the application and the distribution of national wealth or the national commonwealth. These are some of the indices.
The Ramadan lecture featured Quranic recitation, The clerics also prayed for the success of Governor Ademola Adeleke's administration in Osun State.
Addressing traders at the popular Atakumasha Market, Elisha, the governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, described Atakumasha Market as the largest in the state, which has been contributing immensely to the economic growth of the state. The governor, who was represented by his deputy, Prince Kola Adewusi, identified with traders who lost their goods to infallo in the previous years, praying God to stop such occurrence, explaining that the economic empowerment of the people of Osun State is of priority to the present administration. The governor said no word can be created in the absence of market. He, however, warned traders to desist from the devilish act of adjusting measures to the disadvantage of their customers, as doing so is against being virtuous.
My life has led to protests and complications in the past. I hold the stores pay commission today. We go a long way in addressing this issue and similar ones. Permit me to state economic empowerment of our people is a key priority area in the development agenda of this administration.
In her address, the General Manager of Osun Community and Social Development Agency, Mrs. Fumi Abokede, explained that sometimes in February this year, a check was presented to the representative of the Atakumasha Market, Elisha, as the result of the completed 64 lock-up shops and 8 solar lights. Mrs. Abokede will express optimism that the shops will rejuvenate the economic status of the people, noting that it will also create a conducive environment for business and boost the economic activities of the state. Noting that Governor Ademola Adeleke is committed to the improvement of the basic economic and livelihood of the people, the General Manager of Osun CSDA explained that 98 micro-projects are being funded across the state.
Indeed, our governor is working his talk to his 5-point development agenda. As a matter of fact, this project is in line with the #2 development agenda of Mr. Governor to boost the economy of the state.
Speaking at the program, the head of Elisha West Local Government Administration, Mrs. Abidemi Aluko, recalled that some years back, the market was gutted with fire, which led to loss of goods worth millions of naira. However, expressed delight that traders are now happy with the intervention of the present administration. In his words of appreciation, the Owa Obokun Ademola of Ijesha, Oba Gabriel Adekunle Aromalaran, who was represented by the Odole Owa High Chief Bola Orolugbagbe, explained that Governor Ademola Adeleke has demonstrated governance with distinction within just few months in office. Oba Aromalaran, who described the market as ancient and a place to visit, said its economic value to Ijesha land cannot be overemphasized. In their goodwill messages, the head coordinating unit of Osun Cares, Mr. Shegun Ogunrinlade, was presented at the event. The Iyaloja of Ijesha Land, who doubles as the Iyaloja at Akomosa Market, Mrs. Anna Awe, and Babaloja at Akomosa Chief Babatunde Obembe, thanked God and appreciated Governor Ademola Adeleke for putting smiles on their faces. The program was not a dull moment or two, as the Osun Cultural Troupe spiced it with cultural display. One of the ancient markets in the history of Osun State is the Atakumasha Market. It is situated in the heart of Elisha, not far from the palace of the Owa Obokun Ademola of Ijesha Land. The market houses local shops and open space outlets where food items, clothing materials, and other housewares were sold. But some 9 years ago, the popular market, often described as the biggest in Osun State, was gutted by fire, making traders lose goods worth millions of naira. By this, one would think it is the obligation of the government to assist in rebuilding the market, if not assisting affected traders with cash. Lo and behold, the former governor Rauf Aregbesola promised to raise the market to an international standard. His successor, Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, through the Ministry of Works and Transportation, built some open outlet shops, some completed and some not completed. In fact, some of the projects embarked upon by the past administration are at the foundation level. A good idea of what an abattoir should look like the administration had, but the building housing the abattoir was never completed due to other shops. Meanwhile, the shops have been numbered. Recently, the Governor Ademola Adeleke's administration thought of quick intervention aimed at relieving traders of hardship melted on them in the process of keeping their wares. He constructed 64 lock-up shops at the Atakumasha Market within 100 days in office. It was commissioned by the Deputy Governor, Prince Kola Adewusi, for the use of traders. But before leaving the scene of the program, the social media had been awash with insinuations that Governor Ademola Adeleke was commissioning the project already completed by his predecessor, claiming to be part of his achievement in 100 days he assumed office. A fact-finding mission by this reporter revealed that apart from the fact that the Governor Ademola Adeleke's project in the Atakumasha Market occupied a separate parcel of land with 4 blocks, the 64 lock-up shops were not numbered as done on the project of the past administration, which was marked and numbered. The Iyaloja of Ijesha Land, who doubles as the Iyaloja at Atakumasha Market, has this to say about the insinuations and the project of Ademola Adeleke's administration.
Un de wa se fún ane un de bi pe gan la an wa si ye se fún a un la si o ele kan ti wa lale un de dire o.
Marveled by the unfounded claims by some people that Adeleke was commissioning an already completed project, the chairman at Atakumasha Market, Chief Babatunde Obembe, explained that the market received a check to build 64 lock-up shops from Governor Ademola Adeleke in February. He warned rumor mongers to be wary of their comments on social media as the project of the 64 local shops was started and completed by Governor Ademola Adeleke's administration.
Àwọn ìjọba àná ilé ìtàn ṣe ọ̀tọ̀. Àwọn ìjọba ìní ilé ìtàn ṣe ọ̀tọ̀. Àwọn ìjọba tó wà lóde lẹ́ni 64 lock-up shop náà kọ́ láàrin ọgọ́rùn-ún ọjọ́ tán dẹ̀ wá sí. So kò jọra wọn.
The door of Chief Babatunde Obembe and Anna Awe appealed to Governor Ademola Adeleke to disregard baseless propaganda by his political opponents and assist in completing the leftover jobs of the previous administration in Atakumasha Market.
Ẹ ṣe àwọn ṣọ́ọ̀bù tí wọ́n ti parí yìí, àwọn ìjọba àná, àwọn ni wọ́n parí ẹ̀kan tó fi ìjọba lẹ̀. Mo dẹ̀ wá ń fàsìkò ìrọ̀ ìjọba tó wà lóde nísìn láti wá bá a parí ẹ̀. Ọlọ́run á kún wọn lọ́wọ́, Ọlọ́run á ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́. A ṣe é ṣe fún wọn lágbára Ọlọ́run.
Yèkú ìjọba àná kó ṣèkù kan wá bá a parí rẹ̀. Torí gbogbo ìjọ wọn ṣe kó fún àná ni pé gbogbo àdọ́lé kọ́ wà lálẹ́ náà ni à ń parí. Kàndínlá bá a gbogbo ìgbéyàwó kan bá a parí rẹ̀ o.
Should you be chanced to visit the Atakumasha Market in Elisha, it is clear that you will see the project of Governor Ademola Adeleke and that of his predecessor Adegboyega Oyetola. Addressing the gathering, Governor Ademola Adeleke appreciated the support of residents of Osun State for his administration. The governor, who was represented by his deputy, Prince Kola Adewusi, explained that the present administration is people-oriented and is always ready to put smiles on the faces of the people. Governor Adeleke noted that the water project is aimed at waging war against waterborne diseases which may result to death, noting that poverty and non-access to potable water supply go hand in hand. Maintained that God brought the present administration to Osun State to solve the various challenges being faced by the teeming populace.
Another important factor to note is that poverty and lack of clean water go hand in hand, and a key component to eliminating poverty is having access to safe water. When water supplies are improved and sustainable, it significantly enhances community economic growth and reduces poverty.
In her address, the General Manager of Osun Community and Social Development Agency, Mrs. Fumi Abokede, thanked and appreciated Governor Ademola Adeleke for funding the water project, maintaining that the project will go a long way in improving socio-economic development of the beneficiaries, stating that clean water is crucial to the healthy living of the people. Mrs. Abokede implored the beneficiaries to maintain the water project.
The administration of His Excellency, Executive Governor of Osun State, Senator Ademola Jackson Adeleke, is very keen in improving the quality of life of Osun citizens. And in fact, one of the development agenda of Mr. Governor is infrastructure development. Hence, the provision of boreholes as an intervention to accelerate access to potable water.
The HLA Osogbo South LCDA, Mrs. Omowumi Olagunju, appreciated Governor Ademola Adeleke for considering the Osun community worthy of benefiting from potable water supply. She pledged on behalf of residents of Osun community to continue their support for the present administration. In his words of appreciation, the leader of Osun community, Alhaji Suleiman Alao Eniafelamo, described the borehole provided for the community as one of the projects showcasing Governor Ademola Adeleke as caring and loving, whose vision is to bring comfort to the doorsteps of the people. The program climaxed with the commissioning of the borehole.
Yes, welcome back to the studios of Saturday Morning Treat on Osbc Television. Iliawiye Okebale Osogbo, the capital of Osun State. We are moving on the program, and the first guest who will be talking about the first topic on the first guest platform on this program is already in the house. The topic is the last 10 days of Ramadan and its significance. I am glad to welcome to the studio the special assistant to the Grand Imam of Osun State, Imam Abdul Salam Akinwumi. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning to you. Good morning to Nigeria. Good morning to our viewers.
Yes, the Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. No doubt about that.
Yes.
And it is being observed.
Yes, we still have a report on report of.
It is being observed everywhere. Don't worry, it will come on later.
Okay.
It is being observed globally, and when it's time for Ramadan, you will know that Ramadan is in the air.
Yes.
These and other things are what we are going to talk about today on the program. But first, let us take a special report on the last 10 days of Ramadan and its significance.
The 9th month of the Islamic calendar and is considered the most sacred and blessed month of the year for Muslims worldwide. The last 10 days of Ramadan holds a significant place in the hearts of Muslims due to the various virtues and rewards associated with them. The last 10 days of Ramadan are also considered very significant in Islamic tradition. These days are often referred to as Laylatul Qadr, or the night of majesty, night of power, night of value, and night of destiny. And these days are believed to be the holiest night of the year. During these last 10 days, Muslims increase their acts of worship and devotion, spending more time in prayer, reciting the Holy Quran, and engaging in charitable acts, according to an Islamic scholar, Dr. Kehinde Busari, said the night of power, which is also called Laylatul Qadr, is the most important aspect of the last 10 days of Ramadan, adding that the night of majesty is considered to be better than 1,000 months. He stated further that Laylatul Qadr is said to be the night on which the first verses of the Holy Quran were revealed to the Prophet Muhammad.
It is very important and significant to Muslims because the worship that a Muslim engaged in one night of Laylatul Qadr will get a reward of someone who worships his creator for 83 years and some months. That is 1,000 nights. Angels will descend in that night, and Angel Gabriel will also follow them. They will all descend with the permission of Allah, of the Lord. Min kulli amri, they will come with all decrees. Salamun hiya hatta matla al-fajr. It will be peace until we witness dawn. If we look into the interpretation very well, we believe that there is no any other night that is significant more than the night of majesty, the night of decree, the night of mercy, the night of forgiveness. Anything that you want, just ask from your creator and Allah will oblige. Allah will do it for you. And that is why a Muslim should not play with the last 10 days during the month of Ramadan.
Dr. Busari admonished Muslim women to see the last 10 days of Ramadan as a time of increased spiritual reflection and connection with Almighty Allah, and also strive to make these days a special time before God. Also speaking on the significance of the last 10 days of Ramadan, clerics including Chief Imam of Ilobu, Alhaji Abdulaziz Adewale, Chief Imam Ahmadiyya Central Mosque Osogbo, Alhaji Muhammadu Adeniran, and Alhaji Fatai Adebayo maintained that during these last 10 days of Ramadan, Muslims increase their acts of worship and devotion, spending more time in prayer, reciting the Holy Quran and engaging in charitable acts, adding that many also stay up all night in prayer and contemplation during the last odd night of Ramadan, seeking the blessings and rewards of the night of power. The clerics added that the last 10 days of Ramadan is a time when Allah's blessings, compassion and mercy are overflowing, adding that whoever prays and finds the blessed night will have their prayers answered by Almighty Allah.
And the Prophet ﷺ also told us that 10 last days are very important, that Muslims should not sleep. If you have been doing acts of ibadah before, you make sure you increase on it. But unfortunately, those 10 days are the areas where you are almost tired of the fast, worshipping and doing all acts of ibadah. But the encouragement you receive from the Prophet is that we should not let shaitan grab us. That last 10 days, apart from fasting, we must keep tahajjud. Wake up in the night. Your tarawih should not be left out. You should also do a lot of zikr, mention the name of God, recite the Holy Quran, and give out to those who are less privileged. So if you have, and you see those who are in need, you give them. And within the last 10 days, there is a night, and that night is called Laylatul Qadr.
The Holy Prophet Muhammad Islam also has taught us a lot of things to be doing during this month. Firstly, anyone searching for this night, we have to go in seclusion in the mosque for 10 days. A lot of people used to do it, and we call that seclusion itikaf. That is seclusion in the mosque for 10 days. A lot of people used to do it in this way that they will go, they calculate by themselves when the Ramadan is 21, 23, because the Prophet has said it falls in the odd night. Doesn't mean that we should violate the law or the rules that says we should look for it in the mosque. Furthermore, the Holy Prophet of Islam has taught us the prayers to be saying while we are in the mosque. Not only those who are in the mosque, anybody, anywhere could also be praying and be saying this prayer. And that prayer is simply Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa
Fa'fuani. Oh Allah, you are the Lord of forgiveness and you love to forgive. Kindly forgive me.
Because if anybody asks from God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ready to answer our prayer with immediate effect. So we advise each and every one of us to try more and more and more for the last 10 of Ramadan.
Although the exact date of the Night of Power is not known, but it is generally believed to fall on one of the odd nights of the last 10 days of Ramadan, with the most likely nights being the 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th or 29th of the holy month. Therefore, it is important for all Muslims to stay in itikaf throughout the period of the last 10 days of Ramadan. Oluwa Tobiloba, Odu.
Yes, having watched that report, I know that you are better informed about the Laylat al-Qadri, which is the night of majesty, when God, Allah, answer prayers automatically, without any bound, when you say the right thing, the right time, and the right place. Yes, our guest, Imam Abdul Salam Akinini. Let's start from Laylat al-Qadr. What is
Laylat al-Qadr?
Laylat al-Qadr.
Laylat al-Qadr.
Laylat al-Qadr.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Following what I read there.
Yes.
Yes. What is Laylat al-Qadr?
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasul Karim wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. May the blessing of Allah be upon the soul of the Prophet of Islam, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Firstly, my regards to my boss, my father, the Grand Imam of Osun State, Sheikh Musa Animasahun. May Allah prolong the life of our father, the entire Muslim in our dear state. Al-Wilaya to Osun, Fiman Biti Suh, the state of the living spring. May we all conclude this ongoing Ramadan period on a brighter note. The anchor of the program, I used to pray for you, and we will continue praying for you. Now, coming back to the Laylat al-Qadr. The word Laylat al-Qadr is two words joined together. The one is Layla, that is night. Qadri, power. Looking into the tools belong to the Almighty Allah. He's the one that bringing the night, is the one that lets us having the day. The significance of the night in the eyes of the Creator is that night is full of some important powers. That is why Laylat al-Qadr was attached to the night. And when we say Qadri, that is power. And who is the owner of the power? It is Almighty Allah. Nobody is possessing a mighty power than Almighty Allah, who is bearing Allah. Now coming back, when we join the two together, Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, the night of majesty, the night of grandeur, the night of Rahmah, that is mercy. It is Almighty Allah that gave this to the Prophet Muhammad. The first person that looked and got it is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he was in Mecca, he used to think about the creating of universe. How does Allah create it? How are we dwelling in the land? How is everything moving? Then he used to make a seclusion. He moved out from the Mecca to where we call Hira. The Hira is a cave outside Mecca, the outskirts of Mecca. He used to be there in seclusion, thinking on the creation, thinking on the power of Allah. He was there one day. Jibril, that is Angel Jibril, descended on him and taught him how to recite and learn the Holy Quran. That was the first Laylatul Qadr in the world. When we say the night of power, the night of grandeur, the night of majesty, it means to we, the Muslim, the followers of the Islamic faith, when the Laylatul Qadr is around as we are now, it means everybody should look at it, to gain from it, to derive a certain success from it, because Laylatul Qadr is a night of mercy. A night where whoever seek and have it, you have a brighter future, because you prepare the next 1 year during the night.
It has been discovered that even during Ramadan,
yes,
the rate of crime go down.
Yes.
Why?
That is how it's supposed to be. Because let us look at it from this angle. Islam generally is a religion of peace. When we say peace, we need to see the manifestation of everything to be easy. That is the primary objective of Allah with this religion on the earth, to create peace. And when the Ramadan comes like this, you see everybody going, because the appetite has been lowered. That is the reason. Because the appetite is urging everybody to go out. Appetite is urging you to go and do this. Appetite is urging you to go and break and do something that is not good.
Yes, you
but
have
when
the strength.
Yeah, you have the strength. But when the appetite is low, you will not be able to do everything. And the spirit, that the spiritual element of Ramadan, we caution you down not to do a bad thing or go out unnecessarily. That is why we are witnessing calm in the month of Ramadan.
Is there any special preparation for the last 10 days of Ramadan?
Yes, there is a preparation. You know, when the Ramadan starts, you are now counting 1, 2, 3, 4. When it reach 19, not 20, the night of 19, because we are counting the day with Islamic religion from the night, not from the following day. Okay. During the 6:30, you are now in the second day. That is why from the night of 19 Ramadan, you are now in Laylatul Qadr. You have to prepare very well, and you have been preparing for coming with your fasting. That is why going into the 10 days, you are being embodied with faith. You are being embodied with peace. You are being embodied with spiritual elevation to your Almighty Allah. You just enter into the last 10 nights of Ramadan. That is the night where Prophet Muhammad ordered us to seek for this day. That particular day which we call Laylatul Qadr. You have to seek it between the last 10 days of Ramadan during the odd number, as you have been seeing it on our screen here.
Okay. Are there consequences if at all anyone misses one of the nights?
Days. No, there's no other consequences.
Okay.
But as a serious Muslim, you have to prepare and make sure you don't miss any day.
How best is a Muslim to observe the Laylatul Qadr? How best?
The best.
Because every night,
yes,
during the Sahur,
yes,
the Muslim will wake up,
yes,
after taking the meal.
Oh no, before the meal.
Even before the meal, prayers will be on.
Yes.
After the meal, prayer will be on.
Yes.
So what is now different? Because
that one is a normal routine for Ramadan period. having a tahajjud or a prayer before the meal and after the meal is a normal routine for Ramadan period. But the difference between that one and seeking Laylatul Qadr is that you have to make yourself be in a seclusion from 20 to 30. You have to stay in a mosque. That mosque will be a Jumat mosque. That is central mosque, not ordinary mosque. You have to go there wearing a white clothes.
Okay.
The white clothes is not compulsory, but it's necessary. You can wear another clothes. Preferably, you will need white clothes. And then you stay there making ablution one after the other. Then you make this a nafila. We call it nafila, that's a prerogative prayers. It's not compulsory, but a prerogative prayer. You make your nafila, then reciting your Quran. That is the special work for Laylatul Qadr seeking. Then you make this istighfar, that is seeking forgiveness from Almighty Allah. Yeah, you make darood, that is a salutation. We call it a salatu, salutation to Holy Prophet Muhammad, seeking blessing upon the soul of Holy Prophet Muhammad. Then you call it kalimatu tahleel, make la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, zikr. That is the remembrance of Almighty Allah. You make your heart being connected to the spiritual regarding the month of Ramadan. That is the difference between seeking Laylatul Qadr and other ordinary prayer during the Ramadan period.
Some people are excluded from Ramadan.
Yes.
Pregnant women.
Yes. Sick.
Muslim mother.
Yes.
Sick people.
The aged one.
The travelers.
Yes, the travelers
are excluded.
Yes.
But are they excluded from the prayers too?
They are not excluded. Okay. Because everybody needs prayers. As we are saying, seeking for Laylatul Qadr during Ramadan period, you have to make yourself be in seclusion in the mosque. We can seek Laylatul Qadr without being in seclusion. Because a lot of people will be on the work. You not be able to observe a seclusion. A lot of people will have some assignment that will never allow you to be in a seclusion. But the important thing we need for you is to connect your soul to the spiritual of Laylatul Qadr. You can be going, you can have your own handset like this, and you have a recorded Quran in it. You can be playing it. Only listening to it, you are observing your seeking of Laylatul Qadr. The sick people can do it. The aged one can do it. The nursing mother can do it. Everybody can do it without being in seclusion. That is the merit of Ramadan.
Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa láti bí ìṣẹ́jú díẹ̀ láti wà lọ́dọ̀ láti bá olùrànlọ́wọ́ pàtàkì fún ìmáàmù ilẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun, the grand imam ti ilẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun, Imam Abdulsalam Akínwùmí láti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ nípa òru Laylatul Qadr tó jẹ́ òru àpọ́nlé, òru àdúrà tó sì jẹ́ òru agbára tẹnikẹ́ni ò sì mọ̀ pé ìgbà báyìí sígbà báyìí ni ó wáyé. Ìta àti sọ látàárọ̀ lédè ìbónú àtúwá kẹ́yìn èèyàn wa ti láǹfààní àti gbọ́ èdè ìbò kẹ́ lè jàǹfààní rẹ̀ dáadáa. Ẹ ti lè mọ̀ nípa rẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ìmọ̀ pèsè nìkan ìmọ̀ àbọ̀dọ̀ máa wà náà ni kódà ní ti dé ibi tó jìnnà jù lágbàáyé. Ẹ jẹ́ àgbẹ̀ báyìí lásìkò tí a bá ń gbà àwẹ̀ lọ́wọ́, ìwà ipá, ìwà jàgídíjàgan, ìwà à ń jáde à ń jí ní gbogbo ẹ máa lọ lẹ́gbà náà, kí ló fà?
Adúpẹ́ lẹ́yìn Ramadan gẹ́gẹ́ bí tí mo sọ ní èdè òyìnbó, Islam gan ni ẹjẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ wò ká tó wọ Ramadan, torí pé láìsí Islam kò sí Ramadan. Islam ló gbé apá karùn-ún wá, ìgbésẹ̀ karùn-ún ó ní Ramadan, ìgbésẹ̀ kẹrin ní Ramadan, ìgbésẹ̀ karùn-ún ní hajj. Islam ẹ̀sìn àlàáfíà ni, bí yẹn bá jẹ́ mùsùlùmí kò yẹ ká bá ní dìjàkidìjàgan. Ẹ̀sìn yẹn tírè ní wa wípé ò gbọ́dọ̀ dàlúrú, gbogbo ibi tí wọ́n bá bọ̀ jẹ́ẹ́jẹ́ mùsùlùmí ni wọ́n ń pè ní bàbá jẹ́ẹ́jẹ́ ìyá jẹ́ẹ́jẹ́ o gbọ́dọ̀ máa lọ jẹ́ẹ́jẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n nítorí pé olúwa máa ń tọ́dá níjọ́ olúwa ń dá ayé èṣù tọwọ́ bọ̀ atọ́kùn níjọ́ tó olúwa ń dá ọmọ nìyàn èṣù ń bẹ níbẹ̀ àṣetán gbogbo wa yìí àwọn Yorùbá wọn ní kò sí fún ti ń bẹ kò sí ti ń bẹ nínú àfún àwòdì tí àṣà ọ̀nà gbogbo wa bá ṣe kiri káàkiri kò sí ti ń bẹ nínú àlámọ̀rí ayé wa tá ṣètánì ò ní mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ ìdí nìyẹn tó fi jẹ́ pé kò sẹ́ni àṣetánì ò lè mú láyé olúwa wa rí bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ọ̀rá kí ni ń fi gáìdì kí ni ń fi dáàbò bo àwọn èèyàn mi ẹ jẹ́ kí n fún wọn ní Ramadan tí n bá fún wọn ní Ramadan àwọn tí máa gbénú èèyàn gàlégàlé ọwọ́ máa tẹ̀ arọ́ balẹ̀ ẹ rí i pé ana Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam anabi ni wọn bá wa bá yín nígbà tẹ́ bá ń gba Ramadan ẹnìkan wá fẹ́ bá yín jà kul ana sa'im ẹ sọ pé mò ń gbá wẹ̀ aláwẹ̀ ní gbọ́dọ̀ jà ó dàbọ̀ pé ọ̀lẹ́lẹ́ ń tọ̀ tí ò lè jà náà ọ̀ọ́kà fàwẹ̀ kọ́ bá ara rẹ̀ àjànú àwẹ̀ nítorí wípé gbogbo pẹ̀lẹ́pẹ̀lẹ́ gbọ́dọ̀ wà ìdí inú tí Ramadan bá ti dé ìlú ọ̀rọ̀ nǹkan lùkọ́.
àwọn gbogbo gbàlá máa sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé tó gbogbo tẹ kọ́ńdọ̀ àwọn Ramadan yìí o ẹ máa ṣe lọ ọdún èdè pọ̀sẹ̀ méjì nígbà tí gbogbo ìlú òtútù bá darí.
kò lè ṣe ọmọ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ kò lè ṣe ọmọ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ oṣù méjìlá ni inú oṣù méjìlá olúwa sa ìkan lẹ́sà èyí tá a sà lẹ́sà yóò ní tí ó fi ṣe fáàrí bí gbogbo ẹ̀ bá ń rí bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí fáàrí fún Ramadan nù fáàrí nìyẹn nítorí pé olúwa sà lẹ́sà inú àwọn ìsà Ramadan ó ní wípé Kùránì sọ̀kalẹ̀ nínú oṣù yìí gbogbo oṣù mọ́kànlá yòókù Kùránì ó sọ̀kalẹ̀ nínú wọn kò sóṣù tó ní fáàrí tó lájùlọ tó oṣù Ramadan kódà àwọn oṣù méjì kan wà táwọn náà fẹ́ sí gàlùyè ní oṣù hajj táwọn èèyàn máa ń lọ sí Mẹ́kà àti oṣù Rabiul Awwal tán bí àná Muhammad ṣùgbọ́n bí méjèèjì náà ṣe tóbi tó ní kò tó Ramadan ìdí nìyẹn tó bí pé nínú Ramadan yìí ẹ̀rí táwọn èèyàn máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí rédíò máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí tẹlifíṣàn wá sí ọ máa lọ kọ́lé ẹ̀yìn ní tẹlifíṣàn náà ẹ̀rí bẹ́ẹ̀ máa pawó gidi nínú Ramadan ẹ̀jẹ̀ Ramadan náà lọ kò sí patronize ma ntọ́fà ni wípé ẹ̀sà yẹn wá olúwa ti fi hàn wá ó tún náà rí fi tọ́jú ẹ̀ pamọ́ dẹ̀ mí ni tí gbogbo ẹ̀ bá ń rí báńkò ní sífàrí fún Ramadan.
ǹjẹ́ nínú àwọn mùsùlùmí tó jẹ́ wípé wọn ò fi taratara gba àwẹ̀ yẹn láti ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ yẹn àwẹ̀ Ramadan láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ǹjẹ́ ṣé kò sí ṣé kò ní yọlẹ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n bá sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ wá gba àwọn fẹ́ darapọ̀ láti gba ti tọjọ́ mẹ́wàá yẹn ṣé kò sí.
àkọ́kọ́ náà ni wípé Ramadan kì í ṣe ní téèyàn mùsùlùmí máa ń mú lásán ó nílànà àtòfin onílànà àtòfin gbogbo ẹni tí ó bá gba Ramadan muta'ammidan we call it à ń sọ wípé kí ẹ bá mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ muta'ammidan wà jù sílẹ̀ tó fi lọ yẹn 60 lọ́gbà fún ẹyọ kan tó dín tó bá fi lè dín 10 60 lọ́nà 10 ni àwọn ìgbà tó bá ń gbà lọ́wọ́ tí ọba míìsì kan ní 59 ọtún abẹ́rẹ́ láti 60 padà ọ̀daràn nìyẹn tó ọba wa mọ̀ ẹ̀yún ẹni ó dáràn èèyàn ń pè ní kàfàrà ṣùgbọ́n fọ̀dọ́ lẹni tí òfin yọ ọ́ lẹ̀ bí àgbàlagbà bí ìyá tó ń fọmọ lọ́mú bí olóyún bí ẹni tára rí ọ̀yá àbí ìdíwé fara ẹni tí ó wà lórí ìrìn àjò tó yẹ pé ìrìn àjò yẹn ó wà hectic ó nílà so wà ní kó fi àwẹ̀ sílẹ̀ irú àwọn eléyìí déédéé ọjọ́ tí wọ́n fi ilẹ̀ ni wọ́n gbà padà.
kò ní gbè kí ṣe 16 tiẹ̀.
kì í ṣe 16 tiẹ̀ àmọ́ wà á gbàwẹ̀ láti Ramadan wà á gbọ́ pàǹfààní kan bẹ́ẹ̀ lórí láti lè kárí lọ́ọ́ bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti jọ Ramadan àti ó bá lo ìyẹn o olúwa lè torí pé olúwa kì í ṣalábòsí ó lè mi Ọlọ́run yafsilu bainakum nkàlùkù ni màá fẹ́ ní ẹ̀tọ́ ẹ̀ ntọ́ ọba ṣe ní gbìyànjú ṣùgbọ́n ìfúnyàn lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ Ọlọ́run ni ọmọ jìyà ń tó ṣe.
ẹni tó bá mọ̀ tún àwẹ̀ gbà yóò jẹ sàárì.
yóò jẹ sàárì.
ṣé yóò wá sílẹ̀ láti kán ní tiẹ̀ lọ́tọ̀ ní.
ṣé lẹ́yìn Ramadan.
lẹ́yìn tiẹ̀ tó bá tún gbà yẹn.
tó bá tún gbà
nígbà Ramadan ti lè kà sílẹ̀ láti lè ká dìrì mọ́ lẹ́látìlẹ̀ káàdì inú Ramadan nìkan ni wọ́n wà tí ọba ti lè di pé Ramadan tẹnu bomi rẹ̀rẹ̀ lẹ́látìlẹ̀ káàdì tún dẹ̀ mí ẹ̀dí Ọlọ́run bá ní ó dé bá láyé lẹ́ẹ̀mí ọba dé bá láyé lẹ́ẹ̀mí ó tún máa sí ìkẹ́ ọ máa wà.
lásìkò èrò Ramadan inú ilé máa ń rojú ó máa ń ráyè ẹ̀ rojú bàbá ńlẹ̀ ìyá gan afárá sílé díẹ̀
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
kí ló wá dé tó jẹ́ wípé lẹ́yìn Ramadan irú àwọn kan báyìí kò tún lè máa kó tó máa tẹ̀síwájú nínú ilé.
sẹ́rí gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ tí Ramadan wa kọ́ wa lórí kí ọkọ kọ́ máa fóúnjẹ lẹ̀ déédéé ẹ̀rí pé gbogbo ilé ní dùn báyìí gbogbo àwọn obìnrin wọn ń dáná ọbẹ̀ bìtìbìtì oṣù yẹn wá tírèèni wa bá ṣe lo oṣù kọkànlá tó kù ni ṣùgbọ́n nítorí pé ìfẹ́ ẹnu àbí ìgbọ́ àṣetánì ti rẹ ẹlòmíì mú tó bá ti rí pé Ramadan parí gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn ní ojú ilẹ̀ ó ti wọ Ramadan bá dé yóò kú bá pa ọ́ láàrin Ramadan kó tó di Ramadan mi ìyẹn dáná Ọlọ́run.
torí pé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí mọ́ọ̀mù lè náà gbé ló ti lọlẹ̀ ẹ̀ bá délé àwọn ọlọ́tí ní ìsìn wọ́n kà wọ́n lónìí ẹni tó lè fọtí lẹ̀ tó lè fi gbogbo àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyẹn nǹkan burúkú lọ́lẹ̀ oṣù kan kí ló dé tí wọ́n ilé.
ó yẹ kó lè kọ́ntínú ṣùgbọ́n nítorí wípé Olúwa kọ́ kàwá kẹ́ni tí ó là ẹran ara Olúwa kọ́ kàwá kẹ́ni tí ó là Olúwa má jẹ́ kádàrá bọ́ wà lórí wa torí wípé bí Olúwa bá kàkọ́ lẹ̀ bú lórí èèyàn ìmáàmù Mákà bá ṣe wá sí fún kò ní gbọ́ ìdí nìyẹn tó fi jẹ́ pé ẹni kádàrá bú ń rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀ tí Ramadan bá tán ẹ̀ẹ́dì yóò tún padà sí gbogbo wa dáadáa ṣùgbọ́n Ramadan wa kọ́ wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó yẹ pé ntọ́ dáa fún mùsùlùmí ni wípé kí Ramadan bá lọ tán ká má fi gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn lẹ̀ ká máa lò ó lọ lé ayé ọmọ nísinmi ọmọnìyàn ọmọ dáa èmi ọmọ gùn àmọ́ lálàáfíà kọ́dà àlàrísìkì ìlú ọmọ dùn.
ẹ wo nínú àsìkò Ramadan yìí oríṣiríṣi ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ni mo wà láwọn mọ́sálásí àtàwọn ibùdó kọ̀ọ̀kan kódà ẹni tí ì ṣe mùsùlùmí gan yóò rẹ kọ̀ọ̀kan nù rẹ̀ tó bá tó Ramadan bá ti lọ ẹ̀kọ́ parí nù kí ló dé.
ntọ́fà ni wípé àwọn àlùfáà ẹ̀sìn gbogbo wa la gbọ́dọ̀ gbàgbọ́ yìí nítorí wípé iṣẹ́ wa tá a gbé lọ́wọ́ kò nígbà kò sì ní gbèdéke a gbọ́dọ̀ máa ṣe lọ ni bí Ramadan bá tán Ọlọ́run kí ọba ní lọ́ra ẹ̀mí bàbá wa ìmáàmù àgbà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun bí Ramadan bá tán bàbá tún máa organize oríṣiríṣi meeting láàrin àwọn league of imam ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ máa ń wáyé wọ́n dẹ̀ tún máa ń rin kálukú padà sí area rẹ̀ pé ẹ jẹ́ kí sí Ọlọ́run ó continue ìyẹn lójúṣe gbogbo olórí ẹ̀sìn torí pé olórí ẹ̀sìn bá daṣẹ́lẹ̀ àwọn ọmọlẹ́yìn ẹ̀sìn ó daṣẹ́lẹ̀ o ṣùgbọ́n àwọn àlùfáà a gbọ́dọ̀ ti torí tí Ramadan mú wá fún aláǹfààní kọ́ wá jẹ́ pé gba Ramadan lè gun owó lé torí pé inú Ramadan mílíkì wọlé ẹja tútù wọlé èlùbọ́ wọlé gàdí wọlé ńlọmúkẹ́lòmí ọmọ sí dáadáa
kódà aṣọ
kan wọlé gbogbo nǹkan ní wọlé fáwọn àlùfáà Olúwa ló ṣe láǹfààní fún wọn kì í ṣe haram ṣùgbọ́n eléyìí ni náà bí Ramadan bá lọ ká má fi sẹ́lẹ̀ béèyàn ọba compensate kí ni yóò bá compensate béèyàn ọba sí ọba san wá lẹ́san ká gbàgbọ́ wípé Olúwa lọ́ba ẹlẹ́san.
láti kó Ramadan yìí bí ìlú ṣe dá àti gbogbo nǹkan ń dùn tí ń dùn yìí àwọn òfin kan wà tí ó di Ramadan tí ó de láti lè kọ́ rí gan kí làwọn òfin tó wà tó dé.
náà òfin tó dé òun náà ni wípé àkọ́kọ́ náà mùsùlùmí tí ó ṣe lè látàlá kádìrì kì í ṣe mùsùlùmí tí ó tún máa báyé ṣe ó ń ṣe ọgbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ mùsùlùmí tí ó máa báyé ṣe ó fi iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ lẹ̀ ó fi ìyàwó kí tó wá máa lọ ṣọmọ fẹ́ sáré rí ìyàwó mi bó lójú ẹ̀ ṣe rí lọ́wọ́ alẹ́ ò ní ṣe gbogbo ń tọ́jọ́rò ayé ni ọ̀rọ̀ okòwò mùsùlùmí bẹ́ẹ̀ yóò ju ọ̀rọ̀ okòwò gbogbo tó ṣàjẹ́ mọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ àlámọ̀rí ayé lẹ́ni tí ó fẹ́ wojú rí Ọlọ́run nínú gbogbo Ramadan àti nínú òru Lailatul Qadri a gbọ́dọ̀ mú ayé fúnfún yẹ ká kẹ́mi kò níbi ayé ká darí ẹ̀mí wa sọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run lẹ́yìn náà ẹnìkan ò ní máa fẹ́ràn àánú Ọlọ́run nínú Lailatul Qadri kó tún wá involve nínú jàgídíjàgan gbogbo yẹn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sí lẹ́yìn náà ìjẹkújẹ owó àbẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ká dàlúrú ká purọ́ máyà gbogbo òfin tọ́lúwa ní múnkà pé n tó ń kọ̀ ìjọ gbọ́dọ̀ débẹ̀.
kí làwọn ọ̀nà tọ́lọ́run ló ń kọ́.
inú tọ́lọ́run kọ̀ yàtọ̀ sí pé Ramadan dé gan gẹ́gẹ́ bí mùsùlùmí ò gbọ́dọ̀ mú nǹkan mọ́ Ọlọ́run ìyẹn ló ń pè ní ẹbọ ọ̀kan ṣoṣo lọ́lọ́run gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ gbogbo ohun tí ó bá ti jẹ́ pé ká máa pátánà nǹkan mọ́ Ọlọ́run ká máa mú nǹkan míì mọ́ Ọlọ́run olúwalémi Ọlọ́run inna Allah la yughfiru ma yushraku bihi lakin yaghfiru liman duna zalik gbogbo ẹni tó bá mẹ́fà mẹ́mí Ọlọ́run yìí ní foríjì àmọ́ bọ́ ọba ṣe nǹkan míì bọ́ ọba béèrè àforíjì Olúwa ní tó bá wù wá a lè foríjì ọ ṣùgbọ́n ẹ bọ́ kò sí tó bá wù Ọlọ́run bẹ́ẹ̀ ìyà ó jẹ Ọlọ́run ni. àgbọ̀dọ̀ mú mọ́ lẹ́yìn náà èké ọ̀dàlẹ̀ àbòsí eléyìí ó tiẹ̀ máa bí ọlọ́run nínú wọ́n pè ní sólùmù wọ́n ní àsólùmù sólùmù àti yawmal qiyamah gbogbo ẹni yòówù tí bá involve nínú àbòsí láyé tó bá di jẹ́ ọ̀gbẹ́ndàlẹ̀ kìyàmà ní tẹ́ kọ̀kọ́ rí ni wípé ojú rẹ̀ ó dúdú bí ìfìlà yín yẹn níjọ́ ọ̀gbẹ́ndàlẹ̀ kìyàmà bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti rẹ́yìn ojú rẹ̀ dúdú ńjọ́ náà àwọn tàbíyà àwọn àti láàbírè o àwọn àti láàbírè o àwọn alábòsí rè o olúwa ò fẹ́ràn wọ́n ní iná ọ̀kan tó ní hasad kìí ta yóò máa sì kìí tẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n ní iná hasad yakulu hasanat kama yakulu nara hatọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀yin yóò tó bá jó ní kìí ta ọgbà àwẹ̀ ni o òṣèlú àwẹ̀ ni o kìí ta àrí ọmọ jẹsẹ̀ rí rẹ bí ìgbà tí iná bá ń jẹ pákó nínú ẹ̀rùn turu báyìí.
òkè sáwọn máa pa iṣẹ́ dáadáa rẹ.
yóò máa kílì àgbo iṣẹ́ dáadáa rẹ o ti wì ní lódò o ti wì ní lódò tó pé kò náà yàn ní ọkàn wàá rí kó déwájú ọjọ́ náà ká gbogbo ohun tí mo ṣe kọ́ o ti jó dànù níbi kèéta kẹ́ni mánì máa bínú ọmọ nìkejì fìtínátì máa gbógun ti yàgbé òǹkọ́ lọ́kàn ṣé ìwọ ló pè ní àbọ́bọ́ ó dúró lè bá tiẹ̀ ni so gbogbo eléyìí ni nínú Ramadan nígbà tí Ramadan ò tí ì dé Olúwa fẹ́ mùsùlùmí fún àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn ni Ramadan wá dé láti tún wá ṣèrán létí ẹ̀ bíbí ni Ramadan bá tún lọ oṣù mọ́kànlá tẹ́lò ẹlò dáadáa o ẹ má débi gbogbo rà dáadáa.
kí ni iṣẹ́ tẹ́ fẹ́ rán sí gbogbo mùsùlùmí ayé.
àdúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run pé nínú Ramadan la wà yìí Olúwa ní kó bá wa láyé gbogbo mùsùlùmí tó ti gba àwẹ̀ dé 24 lónìí kílò nínú oṣù bá wa ló ti jèrè kan inú èrè tá a jẹ ni pé gbogbo wa láti ẹni Ọlọ́run a sì ti dára alẹ́ Ọlọ́run ìmọ̀ràn mi fún gbogbo mùsùlùmí ni wípé ẹ jẹ́ á gbìyànjú ká mẹ́ǹtẹ́ẹ̀nì rẹ̀ lẹ́yìn Ramadan ká má débi ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ká sì jẹ́ kí ìlú yẹ ọ̀dà pàápàá orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ká jẹ́ lálàáfíà ìjọba míì ní ń bọ̀ yìí ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ bí ìlú bá dáa ọkàn ó balẹ̀ àwọn ọlọ́pàá ò ní ríṣẹ́ ṣe sọ́jà ò ní ríṣẹ́ ṣe ọmọnìyàn ọmọ lọ́bí sẹ́rẹ̀ yọ ọmọ adé ntí Islam wa kọ́ wa nìyẹn tí Ramadan sì wà rán wa létí lẹ́yìn Ramadan kí kálukọ́ máa lọ pẹ̀lẹ́pẹ̀lẹ́ ká sì páyọ̀ Ọlọ́run. àwọn
èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun kọ́.
bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun bàbá ti ń sọ Nàìjíríà nínú Nàìjíríà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun wa ìdí nu atọ́kùngbà tí ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n tí mo fi kí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun lédè Lárúbáwá ni wìláyàtù fíìmánbìtì hayì the state of living spring gbogbo omi tí máa tutù tí ń jáde yẹn
láyàtù
mi fi máa ń bí ti hayì ibi tí omi ẹ̀yẹ ti ń sun ni wọ́n ń pè ní state of living spring n bá wa ń sun yẹn ẹ̀rí komi yẹn máa ń tutù ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun gbọ́dọ̀ máa tutù omi tutù olómi yẹn òṣìlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun gbọ́dọ̀ máa tutù ká máa gbádùn ìdí ni pé gbogbo ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun wàhálà ò ní wọ̀ pínlẹ̀ yìí pẹ̀lú ògbó Ọlọ́run àti ìjọba tí ń bẹ́ẹ̀ mẹ́rin àtàwa náà la máa gbádùn nínú ayé pẹ̀lú ọ̀dọ̀ Ọlọ́run.
ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa mo rò pé ẹ ti rí ẹ̀kọ́ kan tàbí méjì kọ́ lórí ètò yìí lónìí pàápàá jùlọ pẹ̀lú àwọn kan tí Imam Abdulsalam Akínwùmí tí wọ́n jẹ́ olùrànlọ́wọ́ pàtàkì fún bàbá Imam olórí gbogbo Imam nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun bàbá wa Sheikh Musa Animasan tí wọ́n ti ń kọ́ wa látàárọ̀ tí wọ́n ti ń bá wa sọ lórí ètò yìí. I do hope you have enjoyed every bit of the program, especially as we treat the topic the last 10 days of Ramadan and its significance. And our resource person has been the special assistant to the Grand Imam of Osun State, Sheikh Musa Animasan, in person of Imam Abdulsalam Akínwùmí. And we hope he has been able to touch you one way or the other. People with conscience will know that what we have treated this morning is significant in their lives. Mommy?
Yes, and this is the convenience spot we shall be saying bye on the first guest platform, as we have already taken you through the topical issues, that is the last 10 days of Ramadan and its significance. And we sincerely appreciate the special assistant to the Grand Imam of Osun State in person of Imam Abdulsalam Akínwùmí. We thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you too.
And we believe that you will oblige us next time.
Yes.
We invite you. And we shall be back for the newspaper review in a moment. Stay tuned. You are welcome back to Saturday Morning Treat, reaching you from the studios of OSBC Television, Iliawiye Okebale Oshogbo. And we are now on to the review of newspapers. I have Saturday Tribune with me on today's edition of the program, and I'm starting with some political stories. Supplementary polls, election fever grips 23 states. IGP restricts movements from 12 midnight to 5 p.m. today. And the details of today's governorship, senatorial, House of Reps, House of Assembly elections is already on the Saturday Tribune. The secret of my great wealth at 95, Chief Ayo Adebanjo speaks on live at school. Zikist and Awoist. Men around me at NTA saw my capacity, not my skirt, says Muji Makonjola. And land grabbing. Baba Oniles battle Lagos landlords. Banana Island building collapse. We have discovered one corpse, says Lagos State government. And still on rehabilitation of selected waterworks commences in Osun. It is fake news to mention 14 million naira as cost of borehole. Poverty reduction. RIA, Rotary Club, provides solar power to 100-year-old FCT community. Leaders must unite all Nigerians, cleric says at Oyo Speaker's mother's funeral service. And we have Ogunlesi commends Ogun government for building world-class airports. 2023, Silva, Leon, 4 others jostle for APC governorship tickets in Bayelsa. IGP presents 84 million naira checks to families of late officers in Zamfara State. Kogi APC governorship primary. Bello commends party members of large turnout, orderliness. APC Kogi Goba primary. Sanusi kicks, threaten court action. Northwest Youth drum support for Jaji as House Speaker. Excitement as Women of Destiny Conference returns after 3-year break. We have another one here. INEC accused of frustrating court order in Cross River. With a rider, PDP is free to inspect election materials, says INEC. OT inaugurates 100-member transition council. IGP approves deployment of DIG Egbetokun to FCID, 36 CPs to department formations. Robbery attacks, Osun, Amotekun deploys night patrol teams in Oshogbo. And moving on to the sports arena. PSG boss defends signing Muslim players. And let me take that, just about 2 or 3 paragraphs of that story. Paris Saint-Germain manager Christophe Garcia is shocked by racism accusation leveled against him from his time at Nice and will take legal action against the claims. Garcia is alleged to have made comments about having too many black and Muslim players in his former team in a leaked email published by French football reporter. Molina claims the email came from Nice's former director of football, Julien Fournier, although he denies this. Another report by local French media outlet, Nice Martin, claims that during the 5-game winning streak, the 56-year-old asked Muslim players not to observe Ramadan. They additionally reported that out of the players asked by Garcia, some accepted, while Icham, Boudoui, and Jean-Claire Todibo refused the request. And that is and we have another story on sport here. Mani gets to care boost after suspension. Koulibaly faces week's injury sideline. UCL, Osimhen nil AC Milan, says Pundit. Haaland inspired my spectacular goal against Basel. says Murphy. And these are the stories that made the headlines of the Saturday Tribune on today's edition of Saturday Morning Treat. And we'll be back after this musical break for the second guest platform, and we'll be having Barrister Bukola Onifadi on jungle justice and police assault on citizens. Stay tuned.
Welcome back from the newspapers review segment of the program, and we are now on the second guest platform on the program, and the topic of discussion is jungle justice and police assault on citizens. And our guest on this platform is already seated in the studio. I'm talking about Barrister Bukola Onifadi. Barrister, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, of recent, we have had cases of, in fact, police assault on the people becomes more pronounced this time around. Jungle justice is also gaining ground this time around. And let us take the two together, with the remuneration of the police, with the laws establishing the police, which give police a lot of powers of arrest, prosecution, among others. What do you think is accountable for the behavior of some police men and officers around this time?
Thank you very much, sir. Now, let me first of all, when you are talking about jungle justice, you cannot exonerate jungle justice from mob attack. And jungle justice is simply means taking laws or law into your hands. Now, when you are now trying to match the two together, that results to mob attack. And jungle justice is an individual can be actively involved in jungle justice. Group of people can also be actively involved in jungle justice. Now, having said that, by virtue of chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, you have right to your fundamental human rights, which nobody can deprive you of that. And when you are talking about that section, is also in line with section 8 sub 1 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Law or Act, as the case may be. If you have right to your fundamental human right, and nobody can deprive you of that. So if anybody, by one way or the other, have done anything contrary to those sections, even by virtue of section 33 of the second Constitution, you have right to your life, and nobody can just take it away from you. So if you are not saying, if you now match the two together, you will discover that you are a human being that have dignity of human person that's supposed to be respected. So whoever that has not come, or by way of unlawless act, by way of jungle justice, taking law into your hand, resorting to mob attack, affect you in any way, in whichever way that is not pleases you, that shows your fundamental human right has been infringed.
Yes.
Now, coming to the question of involvement of security personnel, and then the way and manner the issue of jungle justice is growing up in our society. Before I will even discuss about our security agencies, I will direct that my opinion first to the government. The question to ask: has government performed to the expectation of the citizen? My own question, the answer is capital no.
Okay.
Government at all levels.
Okay. What made you say no?
Thank you. If you look at the section 14 sub 3 of the Constitution, the primary purpose or the primary object, let me say, the primary duty of the government is to protect the life and properties.
Yes.
Now, in Nigeria as of today, you cannot walk freely. You cannot, let me tell you, let me start an example.
Okay.
Initially, if we go to anywhere, and if you see anybody on the road, even in the bush, you will not be afraid of that person. You will even want to greet him or her.
Or familiarize yourself.
Exactly, familiarize yourself with him. That's somebody you have never met with before. You don't know. Now, if you are going now, have you see somebody in the bush where maybe you want to go and face your land or anything? That person will be afraid of you. You will also be afraid of that person because you don't know what is in his or her mind. He or she doesn't know what is in your mind too.
And no system to protect you.
No system to protect you. So the failure of the government metamorphose to what we are experiencing in our society today. Now, let me now take it down to the issue of security. When the head is not functioning very well, definitely all other parts of the body not functioning well. I would with greater respect to our security agencies, especially the police. I do say it, and I'm bold to say it. Even we lawyers, that some of the problems and challenges that we are facing in Nigeria will have impact in it. Now, our security agencies and especially police, are they doing their duty the way they are supposed to do it? The duty of the police is to investigate. It doesn't matter. For example, if I'm a complainant, the mindset of the police, it is only in a few cases that you see it in another way. That the mindset of the police is that once you are a complainant, so they always protect you and defend you. Even when they have discovered or they know that you are as a complainant and the investigation they feel that you are even guilty of the complaint you brought to them, but the police will look other way around and want to protect you because you are the one that wrote the petition. So if as a security personnel that is want to be fair and just to everybody in the society, I think the right thing for them, doesn't matter who brought the petition to you, tell that person, you are guilty. Our investigation revealed that even the man or the lady you accuse is even the allegation against him or her is not even genuine. That even your home is even worse than him or her that you brought. So the contribution of our security agency, look at the answers of 2020, see the implication. It was the injustice, harassment, intimidation from our security agencies that led to that answers issue. And the question to ask now, has that be a way of the security agencies, especially the police, correcting their ways? To me, the answer is no. The answer is no. I appreciate them, if not because of the police, some of us will not be working freely. I will not be.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, but they should try as much as possible to put more effort in order for us to be free and see. He said the jurisprudence, the law of jurisprudence is saying that it is not good when a man left the court and thought or think in his mind that the judge is biased. So if as a police officer and the person that you handle or investigated he or her case now went outside there and said the police are biased, that will not assist us in shaping our society and correct the wrongs that have been meted to the citizens, our leaders. Now, the way forward in respect to that, I've said it several times, and I pray one day God will answer our prayer in Nigeria, and our legislation, both at the National Assembly and the state level, will look into it. The power of arrest, investigation, and prosecution given to the police with the strength and the present situation we find ourselves should be amended. The Police Act should be amended to the effect that the police, there must be an external body that will be working with the police to see what investigation have you done to warrant you charging this person to prison. Many people are languishing in the prison for the offense they did not know anything about it. Police is what is part of this bad investigation we are still talking about the police. And some of the police officers are working against the law that establishes them.
How?
Yes, sir. In our police formations, not only in Osun State, throughout Nigeria, police dabble too much into civil matter, especially land matter, than the criminal matter they were established for to do.
But we take it to them, we take those matters to them.
That is the problem. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. If I take what is wrong to you, must you take it?
No.
That is just it. The society is there. I'm still talking about we, the society. So the civil, but most times, most cases, I'm a lawyer and I'm a practicing one. I go to police station regularly. I see what happened there. Police are my friends. How many of them are my friends? But that does not mean when I see some lapses, some things they are doing wrong that I cannot even talk about it. Yes, how many of them as a friend? But the issue is they dabble into civil matter than the criminal matter they were established for. If the issue, we know that is the position of law that police does not have rights over land matter. They cannot determine the ownership of land. It's only the court of competent judicial that can do that.
Yes.
But on many occasions, in many cases,
even chieftaincy
they involve. land matter, they are involved, and many other things like that. What are we now saying? The involvement of the police in the civil matters have made them to lose focus on their primary duty. Now, what is the solution to their problem? As I've said it before, is the issue that the police act must be amended, and the authority and power they can investigate, but there must be a panel that we look into what you have investigated. Can you take this? Is this let's confirm if this person is guilty or not. Now recommend you for prosecution. It's like in the Ministry of Justice, we have the DPP. It's the DPP that will give legal advice to show if you have been alleged of any offense or any capital offense. Most times it is the DPP that will give advice whether you are guilty or not, or whether you are to be prosecuted or not. That also should be extended to the police, all our police formations in Nigeria.
Oh, it should be extended to
yes, it's extended to all our police formation in Nigeria to look. That panel should be set up. That can comprise of maybe retired judge, senior magistrate, or chief magistrate, a professor from any institution.
To even make their jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Retired police officers.
Retired police officers. So this body should be the act of the police will be amended. So because that will prevent them sending innocent people to prison. Yes, there's many people who are criminals that we know, even in the society, that we cannot pass judgment because the court has not found that person guilty. So you cannot pass judgment, but we know that
when somebody is accused or when somebody is involved in any criminal act and you accost the person, this is what you have done and it is wrong under the law, I will report you to the police, and the person says, please go there. You know, that person, according to my friend yesterday on the program, said that criminal has known the end from the beginning.
Yes, he knows inside out of
meaning that he's one way or the other involved with the police. At least maybe they were drinking just yesterday together. Now it has gone to that extent that somebody who is a known criminal arrested, taken to the police, the second or the third day you see him walking as a free man on the street. Where did we get it from?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. The power, an individual has the power to arrest anybody caught in the act of criminality. But that person does not have the power to take law or to pass judgment, to do good justice and take law into his hand by doing, say that he has committed this offense, so I have the right to do this and do that. It is very wrong. It is the duty of that person to take it to the police. But everything is still bordered on the confidence that people have lost in the police. Now the issue of if we to start talking about what we know and many things that our security agents, not only the police, but because the police are the center point of this issue, that's why their name is occurring in any of our discussion.
Let's move away from the place this time. I want us to look at the causes of jungle justice.
Yes.
What are the causes of jungle justice?
Thank you very much. Now, when you are talking about causes of, there are many.
Okay.
Failure of the government.
Okay.
Impunity. Intolerance. We don't tolerate ourselves. For example, now, look at what is going around in Nigeria now about the Fulani herdsmen. Now, let me ask you that question. Is it only the Fulani herdsmen that are involved in this?
In criminal activities?
Kidnapping and many all sorts of criminal activities. No. We are just trying, because of the fact that it has come to our mentality that Fulani are criminals. So any Fulani you see on the road is a criminal.
Is a potential criminal.
Which is not true. Many people have been arrested who are from other tribes, even from Yoruba.
Yes.
Who are involved
in kidnapping, yes.
In kidnapping.
Yes.
But because of the fact that we don't tolerate ourselves, failure of the government, police brutality. Because people have, if you take the criminal to the police, what I've just said, that the person will be released, and the following day or 3 days or a week after, you see him on the street. So that person will easily go back to what the offense he was arrested for, because he will see that if I have my money, if I have my way, I will get my way with any, and then political assassination brings about this jungle justice that we are talking about. False information. False information. Most of the people, if you get the aftermath of jungle justice that resulted to death, at the end of the day you discover that the information was false. So spreading false information into society, those are the things.
But it's quite on the high side. It's increasing every day. You can see in a report here, 158 Nigerians were mobbed within 18 months. That is between 2021 and 2022.
It's too much. I agree with you.
150.
I agree with you. That is the majorly, that's the failure of the government. The government has failed woefully.
Well, one will even discover that the Nigerians have lost faith in the security agencies.
Yes.
They are no longer confident about them. They no longer believe in them because of the factor I mentioned the other time. We don't need to hide the truth.
No.
There are a lot of compromise.
Yes, in the security agencies.
There are a lot of compromise. Once you are able to brag your way through, then you secure freedom at a cost. And once you secure freedom at a cost, the next thing is for you to walk, for a criminal to walk like as a free man
on
the street. Now, why will people not resort to justice? When a criminal taken to the police will be released without any other, without charging to court for prosecution, without investigating. Why will people not resort to justice?
Yes, I agree with you. But notwithstanding that fact, we cannot still take laws into our hands. Now, any good justice that resulted to death, that is murder. And by virtue of section 315 of our criminal code, in the north, section 220 of penal code, the consequence of committing an offense of murder is death. So now it doesn't matter, even the criminal that was killed, let me say the person that you arrested and through the mob attack the person was killed is a hardy criminal, is a known criminal. Those who are involved in killing him will be charged for murder. Whether we like it or not, no matter how bad our the system in our country, we must still not take law into our hands. We must not involve in justice, in the jungle justice.
ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa láti bí ìṣẹ́jú díẹ̀ láti ń bá barrister Bukola Onífádé sọ̀rọ̀ lórí àwọn kan tó ṣe pàtàkì láwùjọ ìbáwọn èèyàn ṣe máa ń gún òfin lọ́wọ́ ara wọn láti dájọ́ fẹ́ni tí wọ́n bá rí pé ó ṣẹ̀ lábẹ́ òfin èyí àkọ́kọ́ àti bí àwọn ọlọ́pàá ṣe máa ń hùwà tí ó lágbára tí wọ́n máa ń bí pé ẹni tí wọ́n bá mú tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n kà fura sí ni tàbí táwọn èèyàn wá fẹjọ́ rẹ̀ sùn tí wọ́n máa fi ọwọ́ líle mú olúwa rẹ̀ òun là ń wò lónìí. Tí a bá wo àwọn ọlọ́pàá barrister tí wọ́n bá ní ọlọ́pàá ò ẹ̀lọ́ mú lágbájá kódà ẹni tí wọ́n ní kí wọ́n lọ pè wọ́n ní ká invite sábà fún méjèèjì àtúnṣe invite àti arrest ẹlòmíì àti invite àti arrest ní lójú tiẹ̀ ṣé àìkàwé tó àwọn míì ni àwọn míì tí wọ́n gbà ṣe ọlọ́pàá ni àbí ìkà tó kàn wà nù ẹlòmíì àbí agbára tó fi gbé wọ ọlọ́pàá pé ta ni ó mú mi.
ẹ ṣe gan ṣe rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí amòfin mo mọ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ iṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá dáadáa díẹ̀ torí pa súnmọ́ wọn àmọ́ bó ṣe máa ṣiṣẹ́. ṣe rí ìbéèrè tó ṣe pàtàkì ni gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n máa ń ṣe pé kán lọ ẹ̀sùn pé oríṣiríṣi ó ní ìpele sípele. àwọn kan míì tí wọ́n máa ń ṣe kò dáa ìsìn bóyá ẹnìkan mú ẹ̀sìn wá wọ́n gbọ́ wípé bóyá kàn sọ pé ó gbá mi létí ó báyàwó mi mo rí pẹ̀lú ìyàwó mi mo rí irú àwọn ẹ̀sùn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kò ń ṣe ẹ̀sùn kan téèyàn lè lo force láti lọ mú ẹ tí wọ́n fẹ̀sùn kàn gẹ́gẹ́ bí iṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá wọ́n á kọ́kọ́ fún ní ìwé báwọn fẹ́ rí wọn ní ẹnìyẹn ní àgọ́ wọn wọ́n á dẹ̀ fún ní ọjọ́ tẹ́niyẹn ò bá wá wọ́n lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ láti lọ mú ẹnìyẹn kò dẹ̀ ṣe pé mímú wọn tipátipá mímú agbára nínú irú àwọn ẹ̀sùn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn tí wọ́n bá wá ṣe é nípa tipátipá wọ́n ti tako wọ́n ti tẹ ẹ̀tọ́ ẹnìyẹn lójúmọ́lẹ̀ nìyẹn ọ̀daràn kan wà tá a mọ̀ wípé ọ̀daràn pọ́nbélé ni wọ́n apààyàn kẹ́ tó dọ́dọ̀ wọn tẹ̀lé dọ́dọ̀ wọn débi kẹ́ máa sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ fún wọn níwèé tẹ́ ẹ bá ń lọ sọ́dọ̀ wọn ọlọ́pàá gbọ́dọ̀ dẹ́jà pé ọlọ́pàá tá à ń sọ iná èèyàn làwọn náà àwọn náà lọ́mọ wọn níyàwó sílé torí wípé iṣẹ́ tọkọ gbà wọn ẹ̀kọ́ tí wọ́n kọ́ náà fi yàtọ̀ sí àwa bẹ̀yìn alárara ni àwọn náà èmi ò mọ̀ bọ́yìn mi ò gbébọn rí mi ò bẹ̀ àwọn wọ́n kọ́ wọn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ pé kán lè gbébọn kán lè fún ọ̀daràn tí wọ́n bá wá lọ sírú àdó àwọn èèyàn bẹ́yẹn wọ́n lè mú kùmọ̀ lásán dání àbí kán mú ẹgbà dání tọ́mọ bí tí wọ́n ń lọ wọ́n ní láti dira wọ́n dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ lọ wìtí pẹ̀lú ipá ṣùgbọ́n wípé ó kóṣù mi lọ́jà ó fọwọ́ gbá orí mi
akọni gbólóhùn
aṣọ is a civil issue àwọn ẹ̀sùn tẹ́ pé èèyàn lè handle téèyàn lè ṣe ní the civil way nínú ilé ní pé kí báwọn ọdẹ bá parí ẹ̀ kó lé bó ṣe rí nǹkan tó contribute sí problem yẹn owó ni mo máa ń sọ wípé ọlọ́dà ká sọ kò sí oyè pẹ̀lú oyè tó lè máa fún ọlọ́pàá kò ń ṣe ọlọ́pàá nìkan gbogbo all government agencies ni o ẹ lọ sí ministry gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ní everywhere kò síbi tí ò sí corruption yẹn ti wá fẹ́ di agbádá ó ti wọ ẹ̀wù ó ti dé fìlà sínú ẹ̀jẹ̀ ara wa Nàìjíríà kò síbi tí ẹ dé tí ẹ lè rí gbogbo government parasasas ló wà tí àwọn ọlọ́pàá kan fojú hàn gbangba la fi ń pariwo wọn kò síbi tí ò sí ṣe rí ọ̀rọ̀ owó yẹn ò ní problem because for example ń sìn ọlọ́pàá sọ fún yín ní gbangba wípé bail is what
free
is free bẹ́ẹ̀ wá tá a mọ̀ pé kò ṣe free a mọ̀ àwọn aráàlú tó mọ̀ pé kò ṣe free wọ́n mọ̀ so ta la wá ń tàn so that is the problem so bí ìwà tí ì mọ oye tí wọ́n lè fún ọlọ́pàá
gẹ́gẹ́ bí owó oṣù
tó gẹ́gẹ́ bí owó oṣù tí ó jẹ́ ká gbójú kúrò nínú àwọn kan tá a sọ yìí ṣẹ̀dẹ̀ rí àbùkù tó tó nǹkan tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ lélẹ́yìí o ṣẹ̀dá wa èèyàn náà ìtawà náà ń dá ló pọ̀ jù màá sọ àwọn àpẹẹrẹ kan fún yín tọ́lọ́pàá bá mú àwọn èèyàn wa tán bá pè wá wípé ọlọ́pàá tí wọ́n wá já lọ́bẹ̀ o ìtọ́nà after ni wípé kéèyàn wọn kó jáde bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe bó ṣe jáde kò kàn wọ́n tẹ́ bá wá ní ẹni sùúrù kíní kan wà àtàlẹ́ lọ sí kóòtù láti lọ gba àṣẹ ilé ẹjọ́ ká fi gbà jáde tẹ́ẹ̀ ní san 1 naira 1 naira rárá ìyẹn àwọn èèyàn tó mú ẹjọ́ wá ní o ibi tẹ́yìn yìí bá ti ń sọ wípé tọ̀ bail is free àwọn ò ti gbẹ̀yìn lọ́tọ́ mọ́ bá àwọn ọlọ́pàá pé a sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí
wọ́n ti lọ ra béèlì nù
wọ́n ti so ibi tí wọ́n máa ń burú ni wípé kò sí etí wọ́n bá ní kán san fún àwọn èèyàn wọn tó wà nù sẹ́ẹ̀lì yẹn pé kán fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ tí wọ́n fi san tí lọ́yà bá parí iṣẹ́ wọ́n wá ní lọ́yà ìjọba bínú 5,000 ti ń rì wọ́n ò pé irú èèyàn wo làyẹn yìí torí pé mi ò láṣẹ àti dèèyàn yín mọ́lẹ̀ mi ò sì láṣẹ àti tú mọ́lẹ̀ àbí bọ̀ èmi náà agbára kan láti gba èèyàn yín láì san 1 naira nílé ẹjọ́ ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀yin lẹ̀ ní sùúrù ẹ wá kó àdúró owó yẹn ti gba èèyàn yín lẹ̀ èmi tí mo wá ṣe wá tí mo fẹ́ fún ẹ wá ní torí pé ẹ wá ní ìtàwọn èèyàn náà nínú àwùjọ tá à ń ṣe òun ló pọ̀ jù.
ẹ ṣeun.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
àsìkò wa o.
mo fẹ́ kí a ṣàlàyé nǹkan kan fún wa lórí ìdájọ́ látọwọ́ ara ẹni nípa pípa ohun èèyàn àti kínní kí ló dé tó jẹ́ wípé kínní yẹn ti wá gbilẹ̀ káàkiri tẹ́ bá wò ó pé lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta wọ́n pa ẹnìkan ní Àkúrẹ́ wọ́n pa ẹnìkan náà ní Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀ yunifásitì Ilé Ifẹ̀ kí ló dé wí kínní yẹn àti ẹ̀wá rí rò mọ́ wípé kakọ̀ sáré kẹ́ni yẹn mọ́lẹ̀ o kájẹ ṣe bó ṣe wù wá tí ọlọ́pàá òdẹ̀ ní rẹ́nì kankan mú ìgbà míì àwọn ọlọ́pàá Ọlọ́run máa ń wà lẹ́yìn wọn tẹ́pọ̀ máa rí èèyàn bíi méjì ẹyọ kan mú gbọ̀ngbà míì wọn tẹ̀ ní rí ẹnì kankan mú rárá kí ló dé pé kíní yẹn wá ń gbilẹ̀ sí i.
ṣe rí torí pé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ò ṣojúṣe wọn ìjọba wọn ò ṣojúṣe wọn òun ló fà òun gan ni major team tí orí bá ti bàjẹ́ gbogbo ara tó kù ṣe kí ni yóò dá kò ní nítumọ̀ náà ni tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì bá ń ṣe iṣẹ́ wọn bó ṣe kán ṣe irú kan bẹ́ẹ̀ ò ní wáyé ẹ̀kejì àwọn agbófinró wa àwọn gan contribute náà sí bọ̀ tó ní pé orí ò dá ṣe pé wọ́n ń da orí làwọn wà orí gan ò dá báwo ni ọ̀run ṣe máa dúró
ẹ ṣeun
ó pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ kéèyàn máa ṣe nǹkan pé bó ṣe wù mí pé mo kúkú láṣẹ gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe sọ pé tí bá pa ẹ́ mo pa ẹ́ kí ọlọ́pàá fẹ́ fi mí ṣe àìmọye àwọn èèyàn tá a mọ̀ tó pààyàn táwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé pààyàn tó dẹ̀ ń rìn káàkiri tá a mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ pé táwọn èèyàn pé eré yìí dẹ̀ pààyàn o wọ́n dẹ̀ ti filẹ̀ so kọ́nà ṣàánú wa ni and then àwọn olóṣèlú wa náà èyí táwọn náà ń dá nínú wàhálà yìí náà ló pọ̀ jù àwọn tọ́jú olóṣèlú tó ń ṣèjọba pápátá láti gbogbo alátorí federal dé gbogbo ibi tó dé ni ìta àdá náà ló pọ̀ jù so àwọn èèyàn ti lose hope àwọn èèyàn ti lose kéésì ọ̀rọ̀ nílẹ̀ tínú ìjọba mọ́.
ẹ ṣeun ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tó lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀wá wọ́n ní ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbùṣe ibi tí a bá mọ́ lórí ètò yìí lónìí rèé àti ń gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu barista Bukola Onífádé láti ìṣẹ́jú bíi mélòó kan sẹ́yìn barista ẹ ṣeun àjẹlẹ ara wọn àjẹ. We have to draw the curtains at this point in time to pave way for another segment on the program, Saturday Morning Treat. We have been treating jungle justice and police assault on citizens, and our resource person has been Barrister Bukola Onífádé, who has taken us through the topic. We want to appreciate you.
Thank you very much, sir.
And we now go to the last segment of the program, sponsored by Living Above Poverty Organization, LAPO. Happy view.
We at LAPO are committed to poverty eradication. We equally believe that the battle against poverty requires the effort of everyone.
In LAPO, we believe that poor people can make a difference in their lives. We believe that people are the singular most important asset of any family, any society, any nation. And that if you invest in people, definitely the nation would be better for it as well.
Good morning, this is Bridging the Gap, a production from Lift Above Poverty Organization, LAPO. I'm Patience Naku Umwana. Thank you so much for taking our time to watch Bridging the Gap this morning. On the program, we are going to be talking about prostate cancer. We're going to be looking at the misconceptions or misinformation that people have about prostate cancer. And according to our report, prostate cancer happens to be the most commonly diagnosed cancer among men, like men in Nigeria, for instance. So we are going to be looking at some of these misconceptions that people have about prostate cancer vis-a-vis the evidence, the facts, available facts. And I'm going to be having this discussion this morning with Dr. Iyamu. Dr. Iyamu, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
He's a senior registrar and a urologist from University of Benin Teaching Hospital, and with him we are going to be talking about some of the misconceptions that people have about prostate cancer. But before we do that, we'll take the LAPO message on cancer. Please stay with us.
Cancer. There are over 100 different types of cancer: breast cancer, lung cancer, cervical cancer, and many others. Cancer harms the body when altered cells divide uncontrollably to form lumps called tumors. Anyone is at the risk of getting cancer, but some are more likely at risk because of inherited cancerous gene. Some cancers are sometimes lifestyle-induced, like smoking, lack of exercise, poor diet, chemical emissions, environmental or water pollution may play a role. The chances of having cancer can be reduced by avoiding smoking, using tobacco products and alcohol, eating fresh food, and getting regular exercise. There are some tests and screening to help detect cancerous cells, like mammogram for breast cancer and pap test for cervical cancer, and through other cancer detection tests. Your fighting chance against cancer is early detection and treatment through regular screening and testing. This message is powered by LAPO, improving lives.
Okay, doctor, I will go straight by asking whether prostate cancer is an old man disease. According to a lot of people, they said it's for the elderly.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Prostate cancer, yes, the incidence is higher in the elderly male, but we have seen cases as low as 40, 50 and above. But it is generally said that after the age of 40, 50, then the incidence of prostate cancer is actually higher. So it's not really an old man's disease per se, because we have seen patients who have come down with prostate cancer in their early 50s and even some in their late 40s. So it is not really strictly put an elderly man's disease. But as from the age of 40, 50, any male is at risk of having prostate cancer.
Okay, doctor, just quickly explain to us what prostate cancer is, because I'm sure some of my viewers out there may not know what prostate cancer is.
Okay, thank you very much. Prostate cancer is an abnormal growth, uncontrolled growth of the prostate gland. And the prostate gland is found actually in males, so it is not found in women. So women don't have prostate cancer. And this growth is unregulated, is uncontrolled, and also has the capacity of leaving that region where the prostate is to other parts of the body, like the liver, the spinal cord, even the brain and the lungs. So that is when it has caused a metastasis. So the prostate gland is actually found in male and is located just below the bladder and between the bladder and the rectum. That is where it is, or rather at the bladder neck. And most of its symptoms after being enlarged can actually cause a lower urinary tract symptom because of its exact location in males. And in males, its main function is to produce seminal fluid that mixes with the semen for ejaculation and for procreation, obviously.
Okay, are you saying that from your first explanation, are you saying that prostate cancer could affect a man that is, let's say, a young man of 40 years?
Yes, because after the age of 40, that is why that is the recommended standard. After the age of 40, men can be at risk of having prostate cancer. But we know that it is higher in patients who are actually in their 5th decades of life. But we have seen patients who are 55 having prostate cancer. We have seen patients who are 48 currently having prostate cancer.
Okay, some people are of the opinion, some people believe that if you don't have symptoms, that means you don't have prostate cancer. How true is this?
No, that is not really true, because prostate cancer is there, but there are no symptoms of the cancer. And again, this is noteworthy that prostate cancer is a slow-growing cancer. So people can have it for a long time and they may not present with symptoms at all that may be bothersome at that particular point in time. So prostate cancer can present without symptoms, and the patient can have it and then not have much symptoms.
All right. Some other persons feel that because it doesn't run in their families, or they don't have it, nobody has prostate cancer in their family, that means they can never have prostate cancer. How true is this?
That is not also true. Of course, the incidence may be higher in people who have prostate cancer running in their family because of hereditary. It is said that about 5% of prostate cancers are hereditary. However, it can also occur sporadically, in the sense that it has not been in the family line or gene before, and then the cancer can occur. So the fact that prostate cancer is not in an individual's lineage or family, it doesn't mean that it's not at risk of having prostate cancer, and because of that I should not go for tests. No, that is not correct. So prostate cancer can occur even when it has not been in the family line previously.
Okay, this test that they normally run, the screening, the PSA screening, is it a cancer test?
PSA doesn't really diagnose cancer. It only raises suspicion that there may be cancer. However, it has a cutoff value. We normally take the value of 0 to 4 nanogram per mil as a quantitative test of PSA. If it's higher than that, it's only raises suspicion that it's prostate cancer. So the only way to actually diagnose prostate cancer is to have a tissue histology diagnosis. By that we mean having a prostate biopsy to now diagnose that there are cancer cells in the prostate gland. However, we don't do biopsy for every patient. So PSA is a trigger for us to say, oh, this patient needs to be biopsied to now see whether there's really prostate cancer or not. However, if the PSA is astronomically high, like 100 nanogram per ml, 200 or 300 nanogram per ml, it's almost evident that that patient has prostate cancer, or rather even having metastatic prostate cancer at that particular point in time.
Okay. There's also this view that people have, this belief that people have that prostate cancer, if you have prostate cancer, you must go for surgery or radiotherapy or thereabout. How do you see that?
No. Prostate cancer has different ways it can be managed or treated, depending on the stage of the disease. If it is localized and we tend to have a cure, yes, patient can go for surgery or radiotherapy. But if the cancer is even localized and the patient is not having symptoms, then there are other modalities of what we call active surveillance or even watchful waiting. So it doesn't mean that it must be surgery. And if it has is extracapsular, in other words, it has now locally advanced, then we can also use injection and drugs. Tablets are available, drugs are available, injections are available to treat prostate cancer. It doesn't mean that once somebody has prostate cancer, there must be surgery or radiotherapy that is the treatment of choice.
Okay. Is it also true that prostate cancer it ends the sexual life of a man?
No, not necessarily. Prostate cancer may not necessarily end the sexual life of a man. And even if there are things that have reduced the testosterone level, which is the sex drive, there are other things that can be used to affect erection, to promote erection, and other things that can be done to enhance sexual activity. It doesn't mean that once a person has prostate cancer, then the sexual life is just zero.
What about urine leakage? Does having prostate cancer mean that a patient must have urine leakage?
No, not necessarily. When the patient is having urine leakage, it means that it is either the sphincters, urinary external sphincter has been affected, and because they can't hold or control urine on his own, or if he has what we call overflow incontinence from chronic retention of urine, they may have a continual leakage of urine. So it doesn't mean that prostate cancer is a cause of urinary linkage. Like I've said before, prostate cancer may even present without symptoms at all, and the patient is living well, and then is okay, is urinating fine, and not having any urine problem. But that being said, prostate cancer is also a cause of many what we call lower urinary tract symptoms, and of which incontinence after much progression of the cancer may also be one of them. But it doesn't mean that prostate cancer is a cause of leakage of urine.
All right, let's quickly take the faces of LAPO, and when we come back, we will continue.
My name is Ifeoma Ugweze. It was the cousin that introduced me to LAPO. The first money I collected, I joined my friend at Yaba. I started selling okreka. From there, after like 8 years, the LAPO was helping me seriously. I was growing with it seriously. I started with 30,000. From there, 100, 150. In short, my son, my fourth son, scholarship. Till now, he's still in that scholarship. When I gave birth to my last baby, LAPO gave me 20,000. That one came like a surprise to me because I never knew that LAPO is giving something like that. So the manager called me and said they are giving 20,000. I should bring the picture of the hospital, the receipt, everything. And of which I did that, and all of a sudden they gave me a check of 20,000. Me and my husband, in short, I am dedicated to LAPO. I love LAPO. Everybody around me, like this my street now, they call me Mama LAPO because I can't deny LAPO. LAPO made me. I am a great woman. I am a happy mother because all my children, three, I have one, she has finished university now. I have 2 undergraduates, one in secondary school, the one LAPO is training now, and the small one in primary school. I don't know how to appreciate Godwin. God that gave him the knowledge of helping women will never let him down. He will grow from strength to strength. As us, the women that are inside LAPO, that know what they are doing, because you don't borrow LAPO money to do ashebi. You don't borrow LAPO money to go and start doing unnecessary things. LAPO money is for business, and purely for business. Because when you don't put it in business, you cannot pay it. This shop I have it too. One is at Ejubo, one is here. So, in short, I don't know how to appreciate LAPO, and I'm not ready to leave LAPO. Though I said in 2 or 3 years I will stop borrowing because I feel I have balance, but Lapo remains my bank. Like, go to our branch. For past 4 years now, I've been collecting base saver, because my CEO also taught me how to do service. Like now, my husband, anywhere you go and talk and say, I married the best wife in the whole world. My mother, everybody know me as a Lapo person. I have never defaulted for once in Lapo because my CEO, the CEO that they gave me that time, taught me how all of us in Lapo, in my union, I'm not bragging about it. I don't think Lapo people have ever, since 12 years, come to my union for loan drive or anything. I suffered. I know where I am coming from. And for somebody, my mother did not give me money. My father did not give me. My friends did not give me. A man from nowhere, from Benin, from Anambra State, to Lagos here, to favor me, to see me and favor me, and favor all my friends that are in my group. Even favor my own younger sister. Now she's in Canada. She's no more in Lapo, but it was Lapo money she started with. But even my neighbor, she's now presently in US, and she's still banking with Lapo, Juliet Odemi, and she's still banking with, even as she left, she said, my sister, I will not leave these people because they made me what I am today. The man is so wonderful. He's trying. Come to my union, you see men. I have men in my union, women, and everybody's enjoying. If Lapo is hard for others, for me, Lapo is a very good money to me. Very good money to me. Please, anybody you are talking to, I tell them, collect Lapo money, use it for business, and it must be well with all of us.
Welcome back from Faces of Lapo. If you are interested as an entrepreneur to do business with Lapo Microfinance Bank, you are very, very free to do that. Please call the numbers you see on your television screen and you will get all the information you need about how you can partner with Lapo Microfinance Bank. Okay, doctor, there's also this information, this belief that people have that sexual activity could increase the risk of having prostate cancer. How true is this?
Yes, these are all misconceptions. Though there have been studies trying to correlate sexual activity and prostate cancer. It's even some people say it on the rivers that frequent ejaculation may tend to protect against a prostate cancer. There have been studies going on, but they have not been really conclusive on whether sexual activity, frequent ejaculation can can make a patient predisposed to risk or make a patient to be protected against a prostate cancer. There are no conclusive evidence yet from studies being done that sexual activity is a risk factor or rather a protective means against prostate cancer.
Okay, and does it also mean that if you have prostate cancer, that means you must start the treatment immediately? If not, that means it will result to something else.
Okay, once prostate cancer is diagnosed, there are different modalities of treatment. So depending on the age of the individual, the symptom present, and the stage at which it's presenting to the hospital, there are things that we call active surveillance, where the individual is being monitored regularly by doing PSA, frequent examination, data rectal examination, and all that. And when we see that the disease is about progressing, then we can intervene. So that period, there is no treatment. There's also watchful waiting, where the individual is very old and frail and all that, and you know that treating the individual may even be more risky than even allowing him to continue. So with that, you can watch the patient, and when the disease becomes so bothersome and serious, then you can intervene at that point in time. So it doesn't mean that once prostate cancer has been diagnosed, then we must start treatment straight away. There's active surveillance, there's watchful waiting, and then depending on the stage of presentation, treatment can be instituted at that point in time.
Does prostate cancer usually present or always present with urinary symptoms?
No, it does not always present with urinary symptoms. Not all patients may have urinary symptoms, but urinary symptoms is one of the presentations of prostate cancer. Some people can present with symptoms. Some can even present with what we call hematospermia. They see blood in their sperm or blood in the urine. And some can present just their first presentation is low back pain, and they have waist pain and some anorexia and weight loss. So it doesn't mean that it must always have urinary symptoms.
Okay. And is prostate cancer a slow-growing cancer?
Yes, prostate cancer generally is thought to be a slow-growing cancer, and that is why it's commoner that is why most people are old when the cancer is being diagnosed. However, we are beginning to see very aggressive strains of the disease that grows very fast. That within a year of making diagnosis, it has entered metastasis and has spread almost everywhere. So the fact that it's slow growing, it's also yes, at the background, truly slow growing. That's why it is said that a number of people will die with the disease rather than of the disease. So what that means is that somebody can have prostate cancer and then die of other causes rather than dying from from prostate cancer. So it's actually a slow-growing disease, but we are beginning to see aggressive forms of the disease, and even especially amongst younger people being diagnosed with the disease.
Okay, so some people believe that anybody with prostate cancer will definitely die of the disease. How true is this?
That is not really true. That's not really true that anybody with prostate cancer will definitely die of the disease. Because the cancer is commoner at people who are elderly, maybe in their 80, 70, 90 years. Most times these elderly people, they die of other causes rather than of prostate cancer. In other words, they may have comorbidities like cardiovascular diseases, they can have diabetes, and they can have some other heart problems. So these ones will kill them faster than the prostate cancer. That is why it is even said that from autopsy incidence of prostate cancer is higher normally than from the living, because many people died but not of prostate cancer, but of other conditions. So when autopsy was done for them, they discovered that they had prostate cancer, but that was not the cause of their death. So it is true that it's slow growing, and but it doesn't mean that everybody who has the cancer must die of the cancer. There are other things that can kill the person even before the cancer kills the person.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doctor. Yeah. We appreciate you coming on the program today. Yeah. Prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers among men, but there are a lot of misinformation, misconceptions about this deadly disease, which impacts negatively on early reporting for screening and treatment. But however, design from fiction is the first step to understanding the facts about prostate cancer and improving your chances of effectively fighting against this disease. That's how it's been on the program for today. We would like to hear from you. We want you to reach out to us. You can reach out to us through our social media platforms. You can call us on our lines, or you can visit us at any of our offices, or even send us text messages. We'll be glad to hear from you. Till we come your way again. Bye.
Yes, dear viewers at home, this is the Confident Sport to draw curtains on today's edition of Saturday Morning Trade on Osbc television. We have taken you through all the segments of the program with the belief that you have been able to gain one or two things on the program. And on behalf of my colleague on the program, Olubumi Ajiboye Abuola, who's doing certain things to ensure the success of today's transmission of news and current affairs programs. And I also thank the people at the VTR, the MCR, the TriCaster, the transmitter, the S, everybody involved in this program today. I sincerely thank my producer, Michael Adeni Babatunde Bola Tito Ismail, on behalf of the executive producer of the program, Oluwatoyi Yusuf. I say good morning and have a very good weekend.